I think this is going to be my channel getting demonetized. For those who are new or already established in Warhammer 40k, there are certain topics that are kept secret or rather, not freely spoken about. This may be because they want to keep that mystery or because they are not suitable for YouTube. Is a human elder hybrid possible? Is the Emperor the Dark King? I think so. Are the Grey Knights descendants of the Thousand Sons? Also, who the fuck is the Omniscient? Who are more torturing, the Dark Elder or the Dark Mechanicus? Is it possible to create female Let's continue with the video. There is one subject that is often very disturbing in every sense, so much so that Slanesh would be horrified to see it. The Dark Elder would be disgusted by the attempt to do so. Well, lie, they would be capable, and it would make the Imperial servants look like a merciful fate. And that is the Daemonculaba, a creation of the Dark Mechanicus and the Iron Warriors, more specifically of Hunsu, the half-blood, currently Pachirabo's favorite son. Now, some may wonder, who is he? Let's say that Hunsu, better known as the half-blood, is a hybrid of the genetic seed of the Iron Warriors and the Imperial Fists. And the only mad scientist in the galaxy who could do such experiments is Fabius Bile. But that is another story, and on another occasion I will tell the fabulous adventures of the wonderful Bile. In short, Hunsu was the second in command of a warband that, in one of their raids, stole a large cache of Imperial Fist gene seed, both out of revenge and because their own had begun to mutate. After the raid and the acquisition of the seeds, the group's leader was promoted to Demon Prince, and Hunsu took his place as successor. Upon arriving on their planet and with the help of the Dark Mechanicus, they began a small project to create Chaos Marines faster, and that is the Daemonculaba. In simple terms, the procedure consists of taking female slaves and feeding them special nutrients so that their bodies grow to enormous proportions. Once the desired size is reached, Chaos Tech Marines, called Savage Mortars, along with members of the Dark Mechanicus, apply bioengineering and chaos sorcery to modify the physiology of their bodies, so that the gene seed can be implemented into their wombs. When the Daemonculaba is ready, a teenager is taken from the slave population of Midrengard and then a reverse caesarean section is performed. Just saying it gives you a clear idea of the procedure, and for those who don't, well, they take the teenager and then, inside the modified womb, they sew them up. After a few days, yes, just days, the teenager becomes a potential Chaos Marine candidate, without skin. But this process was not reliable, as there were 3 fates: die from the abrupt transformation process, which went well, in quotes, or mutate. The latter were discarded by the drain of the Kalan Gol fortress to die, although some survived and wandered in the deserts around the fortress, forming tribes known as the Skinless. For those who survived and came out well from the procedure, a new skin was placed and sewn on them to begin their life as new Iron Warriors. Now, how was the skin obtained? Well, first they took healthy and strong men from the same slave population, then they were given special nutrients so that they began to grow in size, and later their skin was harvested. Or rather, they were skinned. They had a skin farm. A few days after the birth, the procedure would begin again. This cruel experiment would be repeated as many times as necessary until the Daemoncula itself died, at which point another woman would be taken for its transformation. All this horror came to an end thanks to the visions of Chief Liberian Varotigras, who provided this information to Chapter Master Marnus Augustus Calga, or Marnus Calga. He sent Ultramarines Captain Uriel Ventris and Sergeant Paisanius, who were serving a punishment due to certain problems they had in a campaign against the Tyranids. As part of the punishment, they were forced to take a death oath and be exiled from the chapter until the mission was completed. During their journey to the Eye of Terror, they were captured by the demon Omphalos, who wanted to use them as pawns against the Iron Warriors, since they had enslaved him before and he sought revenge, in addition to wanting to recover an artifact called the Heart of Blood. However, the 2 Ultramarines were not going to obey. Once they reached the planet, they encountered the Skinless tribe, who wanted to help them, since, even in their mutated and imperfect state, they still worshipped the Emperor. Ventris and Paisanius accepted their help, along with that of some freed slaves. Once the assault on Kalan Gol's fortress began, both Ventris and Paisanius managed to infiltrate until they reached the Heart of Blood, which they destroyed and realized that there was a powerful demon trap there, which had been used as a shield to prevent infiltration or psychic attacks. Once the psychic shields fell, a war broke out. The 2 Ultramarines, along with the Skinless, some renegades and slaves, against the Iron Warriors and the 2 powerful daemons. In the midst of the confusion, the 2 Ultramarines reached the room where the Daemonculabas were and finally managed to put an end to it, giving peace to those poor souls. But this was not over, as one of the Daemonculabas captured Ventress and, in those few moments, was able to absorb much of his genetic information, as well as his memories, which were later used to create a clone called the Newborn. Both ultramarines managed to accomplish the mission and ruin Hunsu's plans, although he would take revenge on a large scale, but that is another story. With this we end one of the most intense or, better said, unpleasant creations. I only made a summary, censored, because in the book the creation process and the state of the Daemonculaba are much more explicit and graphic, and if I mention it, they close my channel. Thanks for getting here. I'm starting with the Warhammer 40k videos because I like it and I've started to immerse myself in this grimdark universe,